Então estamos aqui com The Sinking City, para a nossa primeira hora. O cara tá trilouco. Caraca, o cara tá com ataque de pânico. Holy shit, o que é isso? Cara... Um dos servos de futuro. Tem a habilidade de ver algumas coisas fora do normal. Pólvora, bola, câmera. O que é isso? Uma carta. Aparentemente, uma pessoa pode dar ele com esses surtos que ele tem, essas visões. Eu acho que o pessoal da cidade também tem bastante. E esse cara se ofereceu, falou que é um jeito de ajudar.
Hope I never have to use it. Something tells me I will.
Dá uns tecos.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Mas nada? Não.
Now get out!
Tá bom, tá bom.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Monteloc? Bom, vamos ver aqui no problema, né?
Can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Where can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature. Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater evil. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you.
Não, nada como
There's a
receber
room in
diabo
your
pra
name at the
ficar,
Devil's
né?
Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Chris. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
The places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular. Its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
That's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds me.
Bom, mapa. Nós estamos no porto. Aqui é o hotel. Tá. Vou marcar o hotel. Passagem bloqueada. Há um guia. Tem que achar esse cara aqui, o cara que ele falou. Encontrar Robert Throgmorton. Tá, vamos tentar sair daqui primeiro. Bar.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
My name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well,
Ele parece
Albert was
bonito.
part of the deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. But he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete Malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. Now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. Port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the Shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community. Not to mention the crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Sou obrigado a fazer todas as
I've heard you're the man to
perguntas.
speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
You mentioned the lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Evidência. Ah, tá. Parece que sim. Vamos ver se essa casa aqui, mas só que tinha uma cerca. Queria ver se eu achava um bote. Não é por aqui não. Acho que é esse. Não dá pra subir? Dá. Tá lembrando para os caras devem descer umas profundezas de Acamonte. Ou Aquimote.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Do you like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one moves over my board.
Ixi. Vamos lá pra casa. Caraca, olha só. Alguma coisa não mordeu. Metade do tubarão.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
I've said everything I know.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Quem moraria num lugar cheio dessas coisas grudadas na parede? Cartucho, pau.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Não dá pra pegar comida? Credo.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
You police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, private eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
He put the guy in Lewis's room. And he started to make these horrible sounds and... Okay. My head began to burst. and he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. Cause that'll starve.
Where's this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry. No. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. May have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Would it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or did I kill him?
No, you will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Albert retornou com estabilidade. Surto psicótico repentino. Vamos ver se tem alguma coisa a ver. Entendeu que o que ele passou, isso teria sua volta. Tá. Está faltando um dos pescadores. Não. Parece que você tem que juntar as pistas ali para achar alguma coisa que se enquadre.
Choo choo. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Caramba. Que isso? Para, o cara tá louco. Saia da minha mente.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. 5 cards short of a full house. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
São muito diferentes. Faca de
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Lentamente, tá tudo usar aqui. Ah, tá. O que é isso? Ah, segurar.
Glenar, Nechri, Glena, Gebheil, Nugulinar Haft.
Ah, well. O que é isso aqui? Ah, tem que solucionar o que aconteceu.
Take this, ape-face.
O cara aqui vai levar um deles vai tacar um barril em cima do outro, outro vai dar um tiro. É 2 contra 2.
What's happening?
Os 3 começam a correr. Aqui é uma briga.
Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Esse aqui deve ser o que está atrás dele, o Lewis. Foi o primeiro. Segundo.
What?
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. Albert atacou. A Lewis atirou e ele fugiu. Não. Bom. Tem alguma coisa, acho que no Palácio da Mente. Ah, ela vai descobrir que ela fugiu. Agora liberou para rastrear. There was was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Os caras devem estar por aqui.
The door won't budge.
Deu o ataque. Mas como que deu o ataque? Acho que não. Nossa. Olha isso. Credo, sou ruim demais. Também esse bicho aí ficava me assustando, pô. Agora tem uma metralhadora, quero ver.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Criatura bizarra. Então o filho do cara morreu.
There's something in the pocket.
Alguém devia incluir isso. Deixa o bilhete. assassinado. Bom, ele atirou por causa... realmente, por causa do sentimento de... Ele fugiu porque o outro perseguiu. Bom. Você que tá sozinho. Pode estar uma pista. Vamos lá nessa pista aqui. Tinha uma placa de bar em algum lugar, né? Em cima. Antes de avisar o cara de macaco ali, tá escrito aqui a bar. Vamos ver se... Munição? O cara com munição?
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Bar debaixo da quilha.
I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Já chego.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Muita surpresa, vai estar cheio de bicho. Bullshit.
Generic, don't you think?
I see many things, boy, and I will tell you them in detail for a small fee.
All right, how much? $1?
Money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Some other time. Maybe.
As you wish.
Eu não tenho nenhum desses itens. Ah, dá pra você criar algumas coisas. Ah, tá. Aqui é o que precisa para criar. Poço de conhecimento. Extrair armadilhas. Manter uma balança carregada. Chance de dar um ataque duplo. Opa, calma aí. Vigor. Carrega mais 7 munições. Ganhe mais experiência e permaneça ação por um pouco mais de tempo. Peguei essa. Não tem nada para dar essa beleza.
Welcome to Under the Keel.
I've seen some unsettling creatures around, like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So no one knows what they are. Consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun here.
Sei, se sangra, pode morrer.
We'll erase the memory. I settle a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over, he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get it?
Through a rock. That would explain it. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have it.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. We got a promise to deal with him once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day.
Saiu não. Ele quer também esquivar do cara lá. Mas deixa eu ver o que tem aqui atrás.
What the? Get them! Oh.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse, and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Married, gone to the sea. Oh, I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived at Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld. The Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right. Those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouthers' bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
It turns out I arrived here unprepared for business. You give me a little something to get started, and my lips are sealed.
I knew you'd understand. Here you are, Mr. Reed.
Dá melhor que pegar pouquinho de dinheiro. Ah, tem que decidir. Oh, que bacana. Você pode escolher a linha de pensamento. Interessante, você pode mudar. Tá, vou escolher essa linha aqui.
like you to tell my fortune.
Splendid. The fee is the same.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars, circled by the dead. A race from one to the next, as time itself laughs.
Não faz nenhum sentido.
Can't like my bullet bag.
It is what it is. The truth will out soon. Me, I just caught an early glimpse.
Vou te dar umas 30 balas.
I feel like I got scammed.
Profecia da necromante, cartomante. Bom, vamos falar pro cara que nós achamos, né? Tem opção de falar que eu encontrei o assassino?
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures. And they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately, not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.